Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm so excited because spring is here in Southwest Virginia. I'm excited to be outside planting. We are still 6 weeks away from our last frost date, but that doesn't mean I can't start planting things in the yard. So this is my smallest garden bed. This bed I'm going to be planting in ground this year. If you guys have been following my channel, you know that my husband and I just moved into this house last summer, and all of the garden beds were put in by the previous owner. However, they hadn't been maintained in years, so I'm starting from just above scratch, trying to get a place to plant my vegetable garden for the spring. So in this bed right here, I'm going to be planting carrots. These are Carota carrots. These are from the Haas seed collection with Acre Homestead, Becky at Acre Homestead. I absolutely love her channel, and so we're going to be planting some Carota carrots. I'm also going to be planting some bunching onions or green onions. This is also from the Haas seed collaboration. And these garlic chives, same thing, they're from the seed collaboration with Acre Homestead. So that's going to go all right here, and then I'm going to plant a couple of heads of broccoli. If you saw my seed starting video, you saw I'm also starting these seeds indoors, doing a little experiment to see which one's going to go better. So these are supposed to be cold hardy, and so we're going to try and plant all of these are cold hardy plants, and they should be able to survive our first frost in about 6 weeks, but I want to get them started so that we can have maybe two seasons or two sowings of these veggies. So I'm going to get you guys zoomed in, and then we're going to start planting in this bed. So far today, I've gotten rid of all of the remaining little weeds and things off of this bed and broken up the soil a little bit. And it's nice and fluffy right now, so I'm going to try and avoid stepping on it too much. And I'm just going to rake it so it's more even, breaking up any of these kind of huge clumps that are right on the top. And you can see I'm really lucky to have inherited such great soil. You can see here it's full of earthworms, and it's nice and wet. We've had tons of spring rain this year. So these Carota carrots, I'm going to plant them. I'm going to plant 2 rows, and the row spacing on the packet says 12 inches. And I believe that should be 12 inches on center, which means that you can plant basically half of that. So every 6 inches you can plant a row. So we're going to try that, and hopefully that works out. It says planting depth 1/4 inch, and seed spacing is 1/2 inch. So these are actually pretty big for carrot seeds. So I'm in luck for my first attempt. And I'm just going to sprinkle these. It's very difficult to kind of get them exactly 1/2 inch, so we're just going to kind of sprinkle as we go. Alright, that's it for carrots. So I'm going to leave those uncovered for a minute so I don't lose track of where those 2 rows are, and I'm going to move on to our bunching onions and garlic chives. So bunching onions, the row spacing is 24 inches, and seed spacing is every 4 inches. These are also every 4 inches, seed spacing is 18 inches. So I'm going to do, so that I have some area to work, I'm going to do probably about 12 inches here. On either side. That way hopefully I don't lose track of what's what. So we're going to put onions on this side and chives on that side. So every 4 inches. All right, our last crop for this bed is going to be broccoli. And it does not say on the seed packet how far apart to sow these. So we're going to give it the old college try. I think I'm going to do, maybe in the middle here, I'll do like 3 seeds. So I'll put them here, here, and here. And we'll just see how that goes. And I'm going to put a couple extra seeds in each of these spots, just in case I don't get good germination. So now I'm just going to cover everything up and we'll move on to the next side. Hi everyone, welcome to my container garden for this year. This is kind of like an in-ground / raised bed that the owner of this house before me had put in. And if you saw my first video about this whole area was completely covered in weeds and also in comfrey. Comfrey is a great plant to grow if you're growing it for medicinal purposes. I've heard it's also really great to make for compost and to amend your soil. You can make comfrey tea, which is kind of similar to compost tea, but it's also very hardy and difficult to get rid of. And so last fall, I put down cardboard to start smothering all of that, and now I'm going to use potting soil. So I'm putting all of these bags of potting soil on top, and I'm actually going to plant in this potting soil this year. And the reason I'm doing that is because if I pull this cardboard up, there are already little tiny comfrey and weeds and all those things growing, and I'll show you guys over here. Now here's my whole bed right now. I have another one over here with a few more bags of potting soil, but I haven't decided what exactly I'm going to do with this bed. But you can see all of the weeds coming through. I think this is comfrey coming through here. And then if you pull back this cardboard here, you can see I put a double layer. The bottom layer is already decomposing quite a lot, and you can see I've got lots of bug activity. But you can see, like there are already some more coming up, even though I've double layered it with cardboard and there's no light coming through. And so if I pulled all this back and tried to plant in the soil here, it would just be overgrown. I mean, you can see all of these little guys coming up already. It would just be completely overgrown with weeds or with the comfrey, and they'd crowd out anything that I wanted to grow. So this is my plan for this year, is just to do a bag garden on top, and maybe it's not the best plan, maybe it's not the most cost-effective plan, but it's a plan I've got. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm basically keeping the front row here. I'm going to plant tomatoes because this gets the best sun. This back row I'm going to plant beans, and over here I'm going to plant peppers. And I'm not sure, I think I'm actually going to take the soil out of these bags. I bought a bunch of those root pouches, like rue pouches, and I think I'm going to plant peppers in those because my area is actually a little bit cold for peppers. I live in the Appalachian Mountains, and so it does get somewhat cold. It doesn't get really hot during the summer, and so I was told that peppers do better here in kind of like lifted up containers because they'll be a little bit warmer and they won't get so cold, and our soil is pretty cold. So my plan for today is to plant my leafy greens in the middle 2 rows, and I'll show you what I'm planting today. So I'm going to plant 2 different types of kale. This one is from the Haas Seed collaboration. This is Blue Ridge Kale. And then this one is one I bought locally. It's a local seed company, and I'm hoping that will mean that these will do well in this area. I'm planting 2 different kinds of spinach. Got Bloomingdale Longstanding. These are really big spinach leaves, which hopefully will provide like a lot of food. And then these are more of like a baby spinach variety, these Sun Angels, and that is from the Haas Acre Homestead Collab. And the last thing I'm planting is mustard. We really like mustard, and these are also local seeds, so I'm hoping this does well. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to prepare these bags. And I've mentioned in a previous video that I figured out, or I learned about this strategy by a book called Starter Vegetable Gardens, which I think I attached a link in in a recent video, and I will do again. And so I'm just going to be following the directions in that book. So let me zoom you guys in, and then you can watch how I'm preparing these bags. Okay, so I'm going to kind of spread out the mix here, and then I'm going to use a screwdriver to poke a ton of holes in this bag. If this doesn't drain well, then this soil will just hold water, because it's plastic obviously, so it's not going to drain through plastic. Water doesn't drain through here. Then we'll just get root rot and none of the plants will grow. So I'm going to poke a whole bunch of holes in the bottom of this bag, and this is also going to offer any roots that need to go deeper kind of escape out the bottom. Alright, now I'm just going to flip the bag over so that the holes are on the bottom. And now I'm going to cut a big hole in the top so that I can plant in it. And I'm going to leave a little bit of space on each corner, so I'm going to start like 3 inches from the corner, and that will keep the soil kind of contained within the bag. And there we go. Got a nice big area to plant in now. And I'm just going to repeat these for the 6 bags that I'm going to be opening up today. Or I think 5, which are right in the middle here. Alright, well, I finished opening up all of the bags, and my dog has proceeded to climb into all of them. Hopefully I can get her to stop doing that. Come here, Stella. Come on, baby. Oh, you're going to need a bath later, huh? Alright, come on. Alright, so first thing I'm going to be planting is blue-ridge kale. These are full-size kale plants, which means they need to be spaced every 12 inches. And so my thought for this bed is or this bag, is what I'll do is plant kind of 1 in each corner, I think. So I'll probably put them here, and we'll see how that goes. That's about 12 inches-ish. And again, I'm going to put 2 seeds in each little hole in hopes that that will ensure I have good germination. Alright. They only need to be planted 1/4 inch step. So that's done. On to the next one. The next one is a dwarf variety of kale, which is great because I can actually plant these every 2 inches. So what I'm going to do here is actually just spread this out. Now it's gotten trampled by the dog. I'm going to plant, they should be 12 inches apart, so I'm going to plant 2 rows in here, like that, and then I'm going to put my seeds every 2 inches apart. Or at least attempt to. So I'm going to plant Sun Angel Spinach here, and the blooming Dale variety here. Sun Angel says seeds every 2 inches, rows every 12 to 18. So I'm going to do, again, 2 rows in here. I'm going to try and plant these very high intensity. So I'm actually going to plant them closer to every 2 inches apart. That's it for the Sun Angels. The next one is this blooming Dale variety from Emery Gardner. I'm just going to plant these the same way with 2 kind of trenches. Last thing we're planting today is mustard seeds. And we're just going to plant these the same way that we've done all the rest. I'm just going to go 2 rows in this bag. every inch. So I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle them in. If they outcompete each other, that's no big deal. You can see I've got hundreds and hundreds of seeds in here, so some will compete with each other and some won't. So there we go. No need to be too fussy about it. All right, that's all done. The only other thing I forgot to mention earlier is that the reason that I'm planting in the actual bags rather than just pouring the bags onto my soil here is for two reasons. One is that the soil under this cardboard, you probably can't tell, but it's very uneven. And so it would be very hard to track like the depth of the soil for planting. And also, I'm a little bit worried that if I just dump this all out, I'm gonna have a very thin layer of soil, like maybe 1 or 2 inches of this soil. And then that's not gonna be enough to kind of smother the weeds underneath or to provide what I'm putting on top with enough room to grow. And so at the end of the season, my plan is just to pull off all this plastic and put the soil here and then mulch over, so that I'll have kind of a lasagna style, nice thick bed, and this rest of this cardboard that's already, you can see it's like really starting to break down, but it'll completely break down. And hopefully for next year, I'll be able to plant in this bed without having to do bags and without having to buy more soil. So the soil was a big upfront investment, but I think that hopefully using this and then getting some mulch and mulching over for the fall will mean that I'll have a really healthy, great start for a great garden to go forward, and hopefully many more years of beautiful gardening here. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate every single one of you who's come and watched my videos and liked and commented. It really means the world to be going on this journey with all of you. So if you have any suggestions, or you know what you're doing better than I am, let me know. I'm very open to your feedback and hoping to get some good advice. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.